Good Lesbian, Bad Lesbian, with Dor Blyer and Julie van Grinsven.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Cheers.
to-
Cheers. Still looking for a sponsor.
We're still looking, yeah.
I'm looking.
What happened to starting nicely? Also, last episode, we started very rough. Welcome to another episode of Good Lesbian.
Bad Lesbian.
This is episode 8.
Is it?
Money.
I didn't know.
Today,
It's time to quit.
today we are...
People watching, let us know.
Don't let us know.
Like you would care.
No, I
If the
wouldn't
world
care.
would tell you.
I'm doing this for myself. This is therapy for me. We all know that.
So you have your little book. Tell us about
I
it.
always have my little book.
Yeah, but it's
usually.
it's more filled up now.
No, it usually is very filled up.
Just never touch
There's a
it.
lot of deleted parts because I was planning to talk about something today, and you decided that you don't want to talk about it, so we won't talk about it.
That's not entirely true. What I said is that there's certain things that the internet shouldn't know in its specifics, so we can talk about it in general. What happened that night?
It's not interesting in general, so we won't talk about it. But we have other great topics to talk about.
Tell me.
Well, so 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we had an episode dealing with therapy.
Right.
Which I found very interesting, and also our listeners found very interesting, and I keep getting feedback, and
Constructive feedback?
very emotional, sweet feedback.
Oh.
And I was surprised because I didn't feel like I was like opening up or talking about very like I feel like I did I promote therapy. I talked about it on the episode. So I feel like that's all I did. But I had a friend coming up to me and saying that they find it very important that I speak about therapy so openly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because in our group of friends, it's not a taboo. Whereas in society, I think in some parts of the world, it's still taboo, or it's either you're crazy, or if you don't go to a therapy, then you must be doing very, very well. Whereas there's the in between, which is you managing maybe a situation that was not great in the beginning, but now you do it because it just also makes you feel good.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't want to go to the gym, so therapy is kind of your gym.
I was just surprised by how much of a taboo it still is. Not even mental health in general, but therapy, but going to therapy. Like the idea that therapy is a normal thing to do is not as common as I thought it would be.
I think it's also because there's so many different types of therapy, and the ones that you don't have to pay out of pocket for, they're most of the time they're because of a real problematic situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to go through all these hoops to get it covered for you, right? Either you go to your GP and you explain to them symptoms that you're having, that you're not mentally feeling well. And there's several degrees in that, of course, but if it's just you exercising your you as a person, and you use it as a tool to grow, then it's not really considered as like necessary, right? It's if you break your arm, you go to the hospital, you get it fixed. It's a very clear symptom and cure. With mental health, when if it's not with the same like type of degree as breaking an arm and you need immediate fixing, then I think just a lot of people would assume that if you go to a therapy, there's something going
Something
on.
really wrong with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, or something really bad going on.
And that was exactly my point the other episode when I said that if you don't take care of your mental health, like maintenance,
Yeah, it's a maintenance.
you will end up breaking to the point that you really have therapy now or a solution now, and then you basically feed the monster. You go there, you get treated, and you think, oh, I am not okay, something is wrong with me. And that's the part that I found very surprising, that being not okay mentally is still such a taboo. I feel like having to get some help, which I had to, because I didn't take care of my mental health for a long time, and I did end up getting emergency therapy. That was just like breaking a leg. And from the first beginning of my therapy, I was telling everyone around me, I'm in therapy now. Now I'm taking care of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get better. And I got better, and I stayed in therapy to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
I think maybe
That's my case.
Yeah, I think maybe in a few generations to come, there might be the same thing as, okay, you have a gym membership and you pay a subscription for, let's say, €50, and then that's also you then exercising your mental health. So maybe we're not there yet because of the stigma or the assumption that something needs to be wrong before you get help. But maybe my nieces and their children, they will grow up with a different sense of what is necessary.
Yeah, but
in order to balance yourself in a way.
But I do feel, and it's not only that, but in the last week, I feel like I found some things that I believed in, or things that I thought were absolute truth, to be very partial truth. It's like,
you were wrong.
I was wrong. No, it was just not the full picture. It's never 100%, but I feel like some bubbles exploded this week. For example, a different topic, but I have 6 nephews, and 3 of them are over 18 years old. And I hear my sisters having conversations with them about, for example, gender and sexuality. The conversations they have are mind-blowing for me. Like, the things they say are like, they are so advanced, they're so smart. My nephews are so smart. And the ones who are straight, cisgender men and women, they say things that I don't remember when I was 21 years old or 22 years old feeling comfortable talking about with straight people around me, especially with straight men. My nephew, I will say it, my nephew is speaking about homosexuality and bisexuality as like he's looking at my sister and was like, what are you talking about? Who cares? She asked him once, do you know anyone in your broad friends group who's gay? And he was like, no one. He's like, no one? You never met anyone? Like, I mean, you have this one, he had a girlfriend, but she's not gay. And my sister was like, oh, so she's bisexual. We're like, no, she had a girlfriend. Like, what are you talking about? Why are we talking about it? It was an amazing conversation to hear. He's beyond that. Like, we're not dealing with it. We're not putting people in boxes.
Mhm.
I loved hearing that. I loved hearing that from a heterosexual
Yeah.
cisgender man. And I
Mhm.
loved that it was my nephew. And my nephew, let me tell you, is not coming from a big city. He grew up in a small city, in a or a big town, I would say.
You can
Not
call it a
the
city.
not a very accepting city. Let me tell you. I also lived there. I know it can be tough growing up there, and this is the kind of amazing people that come from there. So I, for a long time, had the feeling or the thought in my head that this whole generation is okay. And lately, really lately, like this week, I found out that it's not true. And
No, it's not true.
many young people who are gay and bisexual struggle so much. And of course, I didn't think that all gay children are like now living
Mhm.
homos in the streets. No, but I was surprised by how rough it is to some of them, and some people
Yeah.
who are close to me, and it really broke my heart.
Yeah, I mean, I do think we're going in a right direction. I mean, I've also had people in my family that never came out. It was
Hmm.
just like, yeah, this is my partner.
Older people, you mean
No, 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 like
younger
younger,
generation?
younger generation, and they're just like, oh, this is my partner, and not being like mom, dad, like I have to tell you something. Um, I mean, I do think with the internet, uh, there's a there's a lot of knowledge or information around. Let's call it information because it's definitely not always knowledge. Whereas you normalize certain things, but if you put someone in a rabbit hole that doesn't promote like being queer or being gay as a normality, that kid will then, of course, have a different point of view.
Hmm.
So I think you just have to be happy that your nephew, who's surrounded by his friends that are in a more accepting group, and probably also with social media, are being in an algorithm of positivity towards people that are different than them. Just be happy he's in that rabbit hole and not in the rabbit hole of or the algorithm where there's there's a lot to be said about people that are different.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think there's definitely a gradual things are getting better.
Yeah,
When I was a child, it wasn't like, oh, there's those people who are more advanced and I'm just stuck with the people behind. There was no one advanced. Like there was
yeah,
no one who came out of the closet in my whole school. The one that was outed
yeah,
by uh, his blog was printed and hung on the walls of the gym. Like that was the kind of environment I grew up in.
yeah.
So I am very happy to see that nowadays things are changing, but we're still way, way behind.
I do think it's still a conversation to be had
Hmm.
because it's. I think, let's say you are in the algorithm where being queer or being different isn't accepted. It takes one conversation, and especially at a young age, it takes one conversation to have with someone that looks like you, that thinks differently, and might be able to change your mind. So I think with the internet, it's great that they can all find each other, but they're not actually sitting down and having conversations
Yeah,
anymore. And then that's where we come in, because of course there's so many people that say, oh, do you still need a gay pride, do you still need, where is our straight pride? Well, our gay pride is there so we can show or have conversations with people. It is, after all, it is a protest, and it should always be a protest more than it is a party. but there's still a conversation to be had. And we, as the older generation, that's our responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, it's great for you to lead the way for the people in your surroundings that are having a rough time, to have this conversation with them, being like, yeah, but there's also other people in the world, and there's other people like your nephew that thinks differently. So it gets better.
It gets better.
Yeah.
No, I think the big difference between our generation and their generation is this exposure, and the difference that it makes is the fact that they see that there is another way, and that there are people, not to like people like us having a very queer podcast online. If it reaches someone who doesn't know that they're okay, and it makes them feel, maybe everyone around me say that I'm a weirdo, but those two just said last week that I'm a queerdo, which is a nice thing. And they had a straight man there referring to himself as a queerdo. Maybe I'm not so bad. It's not going to fix the issue that they still have everyone around them, but in their head, they're way better than I was when I was this age.
I mean, I always say I'm the norm of normality. So, I mean, I'm also in my 30s, so I'm able to say that with a certain self-confidence that, yeah, I'm my norm of normality. I don't need society to put a different norm on me. And it takes time. It takes years to get into that point where you're like, I have my own house. I have a great job. I have great friends. Yes, we live in a very gay bubble, and yes, I'm not always comfortable walking hand in hand with a partner. That's like, but it's still, I'm not going to change anything because my norm of normality is great. It's exactly what I want.
You put the norm in normality.
Exactly.
Shall we take a break?
Sure. And we're back.
And we are back.
How was your break? Insightful?
I'm broken. Still broken. How was your break?
Great. I do think I want to circle back to the importance that we have. Like, we're putting things on the internet. So therefore, I think it's good for us to share that, I mean, we also struggled.
Yep.
And like you said during the break, when you look back, it did get better.
Yeah, I mean, we just had this little talk outside about how important it is to spread the word that it gets better. I also said that it doesn't really help. I remember hearing people say it gets better in many different topics. I remember thinking that's not helping me, but I think it is still important to say that.
You have to experience it though, and it's not always easy because you see in the media, and also I read today, I didn't read the whole article, so I don't want to spread false news, but that there was during King's Day that we had this past weekend, that there were some homophobic remarks and there were some homophobic acts of violence. So, like, even though we had a great time, it still happens to people, and then it's difficult to think, oh, is it really that much better?
I mean, also when it's better, it doesn't make it perfect.
No, even but that's like for everyone.
Even today, in my old age, you just mentioned King's Day. I was walking in the street with my boyfriend, holding hands, and I had a second that I thought, should we hold hands now because we're surrounded by drunk people? King's Day is when everyone gets drunk in the street, and I don't want to fall on the one person who's backwards.
Yeah.
I don't want that, and that's not the world that I want to live in, but it is the world that I live in.
But I do have to say that as a as a woman, you always have to be very aware of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's similar to how gay men or drag queens that or transgenders that walk the streets, you also have to be very aware of your surroundings. So even though on a daily basis, I honestly can say I have a great life. I don't think it's holding me back career wise. It's not holding me back with friends. It's not holding me back because I have a loving family that accepts me. Um, but yeah, of course, there's moments that you have to be very aware. Whereas people that aren't part of the rainbow family, uh, yeah, they don't have to be that aware.
And not only
Besides women walking the streets after going out and just dodgy streets.
exactly, that's what I was about to say. Not only the gay community or the queer community, also every marginalized community, and that's how crazy it is. It sounds like, but also women in general
Mhm.
still
Yeah.
are a marginalized community, and probably for a long time will be. It's not that easy to fix. We're trying really hard.
Yeah, that's also what I said about the algorithm, that uh, you see certain groups on social media that have a certain message about how women should behave, or that they should be behind the man and not like you, you have to take care of the man. And it's like it's such it, yeah, I don't see it as a positive thing.
Oh,
I
no.
don't think and it's just a message that if that's still spread on the internet, that it's something that we need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always easy to find a solution for it, besides having conversations with people like we're having this conversation today.
Yeah, it's funny also. So after things get better, the it's like you have muscle memory,
Hmm.
not only in your body but also in your brain. Even after things got better, there's always going to be something, even 20 years later, that I hate the word trigger, but something that triggers something in you, even if you worked on it, even if the world changed around you,
Hmm.
you will always feel it. That's what I experienced
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
on King's Day. And it's funny, I had this conversation with my therapist the other day about a complete different situation, but again, this muscle memory, I went through a very long process of detachment from something in life, and I want to say I did very well, and I'm in a much better place.
Yeah.
I'm actually done with this situation in
Yeah.
my life, and still, even this week, I saw something that triggered this reaction in me, this anger. And I remember I had a full out of body situation when I looked at myself and I was like, why are you angry? I thought
Mm.
we're done with it.
I mean, it's not that you forget, right? It's not so it's how you deal with it. So having that conversation with yourself, have it in a way that you learn how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very crazy for you to get angry at yourself for not forgetting.
It wasn't getting angry, it almost made me laugh.
Right.
I was like,
Okay.
this is amazing. You're feeling it in your body right now. This anger exists. But who are you mad at? Like,
Okay.
we're not there anymore.
Mad at the world.
Mad at the world. No, it's just, it stays.
Yeah.
It stays, and it's like trauma is like um, you get burned, it's there forever.
Yeah.
Even if you
It's a
don't feel
scar.
it, it's
Yeah.
a scar.
Yeah. I have a question for you then.
Yeah.
Have you seen Men in Black? The movie.
I know of Men in Black.
Okay.
I haven't seen. I remember something like
Yeah,
like
so
a
they have
little.
this little machine where they make people forget.
Mhm.
If I would have this machine and I would propose to you, I could erase your memory. Would you be like, yeah, cool, do it? Like, great.
I'm sorry. It's scary how much this conversation is similar to my last therapy session. Sorry, we had this conversation. I was asked that.
I want to get paid.
You should, and we are still looking for sponsorships because I'm not paying you.
Also, I still have to buy the machine, so I need some
And invent the
influx.
machine. Wait, so your question is, if I could delete,
Yeah,
would I?
yeah.
Um,
After all of the work you've done, but also with it, you will also erase the work you've done because it's attached to it.
I'm not sure what's my answer, but I can tell you what I told my therapist when we talked about it. Because we,
You can't give me an answer, but you can
I
give
can
her.
give you a similar answer. We talked about how we talked about another movie. I keep forgetting the name. Clear Mind.
Also, again, this is a movie I've watched. I've not watched a lot of movies,
No,
so just let's stick with this
but there
one.
was this movie about this procedure where they. It's a very famous movie. I just keep forgetting the name. I watched the movie multiple times. Tell us in the comment if you remember the name of the movie.
He's been very clear about
It's
it.
the same one from Titanic.
Oh wait, is this so? It's Leonardo DiCaprio.
It's not Leonardo DiCaprio. It's the
Oh.
girl,
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet, and she has like different colored hair through the movie. Never mind. They talk about this procedure where they delete your memory. They can delete someone from your memory, and she
Okay.
wants to delete her ex. And it's this journey she goes through, and he's following her. We talked about how even if I was told that I can delete someone or something from my memory, and I feel and I have a situation in life where it's almost happening, and there's something that's going to happen that will be very similar to that, and even though I know it's the best thing possible for me, I have this urge to hold on to it, like just a second, to stay in this trauma, to stay in this heartache. There's this,
So you're a
this is my.
masochist.
I think that's my answer to your question. I think if I have the option to delete,
Mhm.
probably the best solution will be to say yes, and there's my heart saying no.
I'm actually surprised you say yes.
I'm not saying yes. I'm saying that I think it in a certain situation this would be the best solution. It will make my life easier. Like I want to forget my bullies from high school.
Yeah.
Because I still suffer from the trauma of having them in
Yeah.
my life. I think that would be great to forget that they existed, but there's so many reasons that my heart say no. I need them to stay in my head because they made me who I am. Because for so many reasons, I am stronger now.
Yeah.
Because I love them for a reason.
Yeah. No, but that's why, like I said, with all of the work that comes with it, if you would if you erase that, and you also
But then you
erase
erase all the work you've done,
exactly.
and that's the nice thing about having hard time. You have to take care of yourself after, and that's a big gift to be able to work on that, to be able to make things better for yourself.
Okay, so if we're talking about erasing,
do you want to cancel your subscription to something?
Yeah, I do.
I'm happy because last week you did not.
But I did get annoyed this week. I did get annoyed, and especially today. So there's and it's related to King's Day, and it's not a fun topic, guys. There's a video circling around of a couple, or it looks like a couple having sex in public, and now it turns out that it's actually a rape.
Ooh,
or
wow.
a potential rape. But there's other videos of people taking videos of girls taking a pee between cars. And like, I want to cancel my subscription to the people that feel the need to take videos of everything. And then also to you, if especially if you don't know these people, why would you put that on the internet? Like, it's one, it's illegal, and two, why would you even start filming it? Is it fun? Is it fun for, and let's say on the topic of filming girls peeing, what's fun about that? Like, I know so many men that pee against a tree. I've never had the urge to film that. Like, I really don't fucking understand. Like, why would you fucking do that? Like, there's it's a festival on the streets. There's not enough toilets for women. Everyone is aware of that. If there are toilets, they are being, like, women are being made to pay for them.
Mhm.
Because it's not as easy to like throw out your dick and pee against a tree.
And you said it, and you were right that it's illegal, and it's not
Yeah.
it hasn't been illegal for a long time. It's quite a new thing, a new
But it
rule
just
that you're
baffles
not
me
allowed.
that you would feel the need to be like, oh, look at that girl peeing on the ground. Let me film her, and then spread it because it's hilarious. To who is it hilarious?
It starts there and it ends way worse. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's my cancellation.
cancelled. Your
Yeah.
subscription has been cancelled, and saying that, I would like to cancel my subscription to spam phone calls from companies that I'm not subscribed to, that I don't need to cancel my subscription. I want to cancel my subscription to the phone calls I get from them. Can I say a name of a company that harasses me on a weekly basis?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm asking Odido to fucking stop calling me. Because Odido, if you don't live in the Netherlands, you don't know Odido. But Odido is harassing me. It's a phone company and an internet company, and they're harassing me. They call me every other week trying to convince me, and they're so manipulative. They're like, oh, it's a
great deal.
It's a Dutch name from Odido. I'm calling because I know that there's a problem in your street. He's using the fact that I am not the sharpest pencil in the box. Because I immediately like, oh, there's a problem in my street. And then he explains that there's a problem in my street, but Odido have a solution. And every time I fall for that, I don't fall for that anymore. I used to fall for that. And then I was like, okay, thank you, sorry, it's irrelevant. I am not in charge of it. I live in a house, someone else is in charge of it. I wouldn't say call them because then I fuck my boyfriend, but
You do.
but it's horrible. They keep doing that. And today they called. I was polite. I was too polite. I let the guy speak. And then I said, thank you. I'm sorry. It's irrelevant. And also, I'm at work, so it's not a good time. So he hung up in my face while I was still saying the word time.
Mm.
So I want to cancel my subscription.
I have a great solution for you, because actually in the Netherlands there is a registry. It's called Bel mij niet register.
Bel me niet register.
Yeah, so it's
register
actually
to not call.
Yeah.
Look at me speaking Dutch.
And you can actually just register yourself there.
It's like a list of
yeah, and then they know that they shouldn't call you.
But then who's not allowed to call me? No company with like suggestions?
You can add You can add the companies that are calling you, and
Oh, I need to
no, you have to
specifically choose
yeah, I
the.
believe you have to specify it. Yeah,
I need to let them know the names of my bullies.
yeah, that's how it works. But yeah, you can try and see if they actually will stop calling you.
Let's see. I might try. That's it.
That's it.
Thank you, Julie.
No worries. Thank
It
you.
was a lovely episode. And
It is a heavy one on the heart, people.
heavy one on the heart. Thank you, Dimi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sint Annen. Hit the like button. Subscribe. It's here. It's here. It's queer. No, we can't do that every week. That was really, it was so gay. Ciao.
Bye-bye.